Mic check, yo. We still here? Still going strong, yeah? Are you down with Zuby? Yeah. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. 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 I've been on the rhyme since I made a first appearance. I've been on the grind, never waited for the clearance. Life is all the time, so I'm gonna live it fearless. Yeah, and people gonna hear this. Made a little name with a vision and coherence. Never been a lame, now I'm closer to a genius. Knowledge in my brain, chalk it up to the experience. Still I'm not rich, but at least I ain't broke. Never sell dreams, cause I'd rather sell hope. People so lost in the mirrors and the smoke, think I'd be a realer bloke if I said I sold dope. Nope. But my fans will tell you that I'm awesome. I started selling and they bought them. I told them get them and I got them. So if you want dope bars, that's not a problem. It's time to put the needles on the wax. Rock hard like I got the Beatles in the back. Go soft, make an easy living off the map. Or I can go hard like a freaking cheetah on the track. I'm grinding from a zero to a stack. And I'm talking about De Niro getting jacked. If Wakanda needs a new king, I'ma go hard to be the leader of the pack. A needle in a stack, and I'm feeling to attack. Not a baller, no T'Challa, but a hero and I'm black. I'm an eagle to a rat, rebel demon on a track. I'm a scholar and a brawler, you don't feel it if you're whack. You're always talking evil in your rap, and I'm trying to put my meanings on the map. I gave you 12 rules for life and kept my room clean. I'm the Jordan Peterson of rap. Yeah. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. And I believe what I prophesize, so I don't apologize. Unless I do wrong, I don't bow to the mob, I don't live to antagonize. But they say I'm too outspoken. They wonder if I'm joking. Look, a little bit is jest, but I say what I feel, man, I'm real and I'm open. Trust in God, but I live in the physical. Selfish thoughts, but I give in the lyrical. Thought cops hot, want my speech to be criminal. Lies get fought when I speak the political. I am not left wing, I am not right wing. I just know all these things I know. You cannot label me, you can't put shame on me. When I say go means go. Fresh, I step into the premises, kick dope rhymes and they love how I'm expressing it. Hop online and reply to all the messages. Gotta spend time and I'm grateful that you cherish it. Don't talk crap, no, I'd rather be irrelevant. Can't play dumb, people know that I'm intelligent. See me up late night, big beard, Letterman. 12 years deep now, I'm flowing like a veteran. Dudes show love, now I'm moving up in eminence. Girls show love cause they're feeling all the pleasantness. Got huge dreams, I can never be a pessimist. Too much love, I can never be a feminist. Girl, stop looking all incredulous. I am not a bad man, I am not your nemesis. Always had a mega drive, take it back to Genesis. Worked so hard, time to reap a couple benefits. Yeah, I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the Vanguard.
Hey, everyone.
Are we live? Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're live.
Okay. Like, because I'm on a delay, I was like, oh crap. Am I doing this over the intro? For Spike, one time I pulled off a kickflip. Cohen, I am Matt Wright, and together we are traversing the muddied waters of freedom.
How did you know these things? So last week, hey everybody, last week, or 2 weeks, last week we didn't do a damn thing. 2 weeks ago, you said that Gonzo was my favorite Muppet.
Well, that's just obvious.
And then, now, one time, I don't think I've ever told anyone this. Literally one time, I did a kickflip. I could ollie all day long.
Right. But
I don't
only one time
like
I pulled off a kickflip.
just the one time.
Huh.
And it was at a weird. It was at like the perfect. It was kind of like a somewhat of a down angle, and I had landed on the bottom of my board multiple times, and hurt myself. But that time I did it, and I don't think I think at that point I was like, okay, I've done this. Now I don't have to skateboard anymore. It was pretty much like that week I stopped skateboarding. I still have the board in my garage. That's true and creepy. Hey everybody, I'm Spike Cohen.
And together we traverse the muddy waters of freedom. Happy Killdozer Day to everybody out
Yeah. Oh, by the way, first and foremost, allow me to thank Aldi for this delicious orange juice that I drink on this single episode of Muddy Waters of Freedom Boulevard.
And I would really like to thank Stateside Kava for the kava that I normally drink on the episode. But last night when I left, I forgot to grab one to go.
Oh.
And then somebody said they were going to bring me some, and they never did.
Oh, boy.
So,
But thank you to Stateside anyway, Boulevard.
Bulavanaka.
So Killdozer Day.
Killdozer Day.
So this is the, Jacob, this is the day Killdozer killdozed?
Today's the day that I'm going to assume that today's the day that Killdozer killdozed.
Okay. Well, so for those who don't know what we're talking about, there's a guy, and I forget his name, but it was he had basically been pushed around by the city. He was applying for a permit to do something with a piece of property he had for his business, and they kept denying it for stupid reasons. And the people in the city council or county council or whatever it was, they didn't like him. It was like a personality thing, and so they used the power of government to just ruin his life. And he got like divorced from his wife and everything else. His wife left him, and he couldn't do anything. And so he's like, okay. So then he spends 2 years or 3 years or something like that, like a tremendous period of time, fashioning this cement block around a bulldozer, and souping up the things so that the bulldozer could take the extra weight and all this stuff. And he created this thing that it would once he dropped the thing and it locked. No one could open it, including himself. So he was determined, I'm going to destroy as many people as I can, destroy their lives. I'm going to destroy this entire small town, and I'm going to die in this thing. And he did accomplish the dying part, but he did not accomplish. He destroyed some buildings, and I think they made some changes in how they did stuff after that. But the bottom line is, don't tread on me doesn't mean anything if they tread on you. And you go, hey, that sucks that you treaded on me. This guy, he's like, I'm treading on you with my bulldozer cement bunker thing that I made. Yes. So, happy Killdozer Day.
Apparently, it's the 15th anniversary today.
That sounds about right. Yeah, it was like 04. Yeah. So, happy Killdozer today. We know he's resting in peace with Harambe and Cecil the Lion. Some other people.
I was like, I can't name another internet famous.
The cat that just died, angry cat that died.
Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat, yeah. Grumpy Tard the cat or whatever his name was.
Right, that thing.
They're all up there. hanging out,
doing their thing.
one love. All right, so speaking of the cat that died, speaking of
You have grumpy.
speaking of grumpy cat, speaking of people coming out with things that don't matter because they're gonna die soon anyway. Liz Warren. Elizabeth Warren, Massachusetts senator and former Indian tribal chief. Liz Warren, Aboriginal American tribal chief. Liz Warren came out with a plan for universal child care.
Yes.
Because if you think the government hasn't ruined the provision of services enough, wait till child care sucks a lot. Like a lot.
For all of us out there who we sit at home, and Spike and I are childless so far until modern medical science makes it possible for two heterosexual men to have a baby together.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine that kid?
I mean, ridiculously good looking.
Oh gosh. And brilliant, off the charts brilliant.
Yes. Off the charts brilliant. Like Zuby level brilliance.
Oh yeah, like Cambridge and Oxford without having to go there.
Right.
Brilliant.
Right. So
that's a mental image.
For all of our listeners and viewers who have children, who sit there during the daytime and they think, the state does not have control over indoctrinating our children enough.
Really? Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. We only allow the state to begin indoctrinating them at age 5,
6. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it should begin earlier than that in their lifetimes.
Like 1. Like 6
Liz
months.
Warren has that plan for you.
Yeah. Now, the good news, guys, is that this isn't going to cost you anything. See, she's going to be paying for this with a new tax on multimillionaires. So, because that's how that works.
That's right.
See, when you tax a person or a business, much as you would, whenever a new cost comes in, they go, I'm going to just eat this cost, darn it, because I'm a patriotic American. They definitely don't pass that on to the consumer of their goods and services, because for the same reason that when your power bill goes up, if you have a business, your power bill goes up, your taxes go up, your different things go up. You don't say, man, I'm going to have to figure out a way to pay this. You just pull it out of your own bank account and just, you just eat it. You just eat it.
You just eat it.
Hashtag just eat it. And, yeah, just, yes. Yes. See, this is where I wish we could easily cut to things that would end up getting us taken off of YouTube anyway. But,
we're not monetized anyway.
Yeah, well, here you go. There you go. So yeah, new tax on millionaires. No way that's going to cost you anything. Facilities would charge families based on their ability to pay, which basically means no one would pay.
Right, which means no one would pay unless you are one of the multimillionaires. One of the multimillionaires that they are taxing in order to pay for this event.
Yeah, because
program. It's not an event. It's an entire indoctrination program that would begin at age 1.
At age, I think it's even before 1, isn't it? I don't know. The
plan didn't really have that many. I don't know what time child care starts. Because
that's what I'm saying. Child care is early. It's a lot earlier than kindergarten. You got your kid. The time when we are the most. I'm an anarchist. Mark it. The
Man, I don't have a timer on this.
Well, you know what? It's now pure anarchy. We don't even know when I said it first. We are anarchists as little kids. We are figuring out the world. We're excited. We're kind of scared because we don't fully get it. and we're making connections with the people around us, and it's a very on a very basic level. We're just starting to intellectualize things. We're not really able to fully articulate how we feel. We aren't even fully aware of how we feel, but we feel free. We want to do things. And over time, our parents or guardians or whomever start to give us some boundaries. But mostly they're, healthy boundaries, assuming you're raised in a good, healthy, non-toxic parents. You're raised with some boundaries like, don't touch that. That's hot. You're going to burn yourself and that kind of stuff.
Some of us learn that on our own in different ways.
By burning ourselves. Or like with the kickflip. I learned, maybe stop doing that. It hurts your ankles. But that was much later. I can't believe
that was last year.
I wish that was last year. You don't usually start getting this compartmentalized, you do this when the bell rings, Pavlov's dog garbage until you're in like kindergarten. That's like the first introduction to that kind of stuff. And so that by the time you're a young adult, you just got to beat into your head, this person told you to do this because they're an authority figure, so you just have to.
Right.
You're going to start that at their most early developmental age. They're going to be drones by the time they're 4 or 5. And I know that's what they want.
It is what they want. So, going back to, for those of us that can remember kindergarten and first grade, when you start going there and, you're having your class meetings, or I guess those would just be called classes.
We are, let me be clear, we are childless.
Yeah.
As is fully evidenced by this segment.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead.
No children here.
Not even close.
But so you're in your classes and your teacher's talking to you, and they bring in Officer Randall P. McTouchy, and he I don't know. They bring in Officer Randall P. McTouchy, and he's talking to you about the dangers that are out there in the world, because there are pedophiles everywhere. This coming from Randall P. McTouchy, and he's like, if you have a person who is being inappropriate with you, you should speak up and tell somebody. And then they start saying, tell a teacher or a school administrator or a police officer.
Yeah, tell me about it, kid.
Tell
Randall, what did he do to you? Slowly. Tell me slowly.
I need more detail.
Yeah, can you draw a picture? I have a bear, and I'd like you to. Can you touch this bear?
Can you point on the doll?
Just point on this bear. Okay, now draw it. Draw the bear. Anyway, so
he starts bringing out puppets, which is weird because I've got one in the background.
But that is not a touchy parrot, a puppet.
That is not a touchy puppet. No,
that's not a touchy puppet. That's a children's educational puppet. Totally different.
Completely different.
It's a completely different concept.
But they immediately start telling you that you need to start. The people that you can trust are the people that are in power. They're your teachers. They're the administrators, the police officers, your doctors, your priests and pastors. Yes. All of the people who definitely have not been in the news a lot over the last 20 years for doing things that would be abhorrent to most people. So they're going to try to start that now earlier. And they're going to do it by taxing multimillionaires, many of whom I don't think have children.
Yeah, this is a punishment for people who didn't have kids.
Right. And a lot of people think that I'm kind of heartless when I say stuff like, I was responsible enough not to have children because I knew that I'm not responsible enough to have children. Why am I paying for your shitty mistakes?
Listen, even if I have tried my whole life to have children and can't, which is half true. It's half true. The other half is what Matt said. But it's half. I alternate between I'd like to try and, oh my God, thank God. Right now I'm more in the latter. But even if your kids are the greatest kids ever, it's like we talk about on this show constantly. Except when I did my Yang Gang thing. That was a phase. No one owes anyone anything in terms of like, unless you've done something for me, or unless I've done something for you, you don't owe me anything. Unless you've done something for me, I don't owe you. And we certainly don't owe each other, pointing guns at each other via government and saying, I have some kids and it's really difficult for me to get them into daycare. I feel terrible about this, but you got to pay for this because you have more money than me. And I don't know what to tell you. You got to pay it or you're going to lose everything. And that's, it's not a good thing. And the good news is that Liz Warren has a essentially negative 15% chance of becoming president. The bad news is that she's not the only person who's trying to do something like this. There's another competing proposal from the newly formed liberal think tank People's Policy Project. That doesn't sound scary.
No, not even a little bit.
And then their program is equally non-scary sounding, the Family Fun Pack.
Which, the Family Fun Pack sounds like something if you were to go to Six Flags.
Or the zoo or something, yeah. It sounds like a fun pack for the family.
You get like the 4-pack of tickets with vouchers, but you're paying for it. You personally.
You are paying for it, for your family to have fun with this pack.
And the Family Fun Pack would offer government subsidies to those who choose to be stay-at-home parents.
Because that's nothing says family fun.
Which the Liz Warren, if you're going to be a stay-at-home parent, you aren't going to get the money. Like, those people, they can apparently afford to raise their children without needing the money. But this one is like, no, they want to be stay-at-home parents. If this isn't some way to just say, keep churning out children and we'll just keep giving you money, I don't know what is.
No, it is. This is a government breeding program.
Yes.
Breed children. We take them and turn them into drones really, really, really early so that they learn that the only thing that all good things come from is the state. We take them, we deconstruct any concepts of, family loyalty or pride in your community, any of that stuff. It's the state. It is the state. And anything not to bother being responsible with their genitals because, no one can body shame them. And then when they have a bunch of kids, then they get paid to sit at home. This is a very, this is just a continuation of the welfare state, which has entrenched entire generations of basically perpetual poverty. And it's a comfortable poverty, but it completely robs them of, because you're also raising taxes and raising fees and regulations, which creates this massive gap between the people that already have their wealth and the people that don't. There's such a huge barrier to entry to try to get up into that step. They've removed so many rungs from the ladder between wage laws and regulations and taxes and everything else, and just the comfortable subsidy of, hey, why do anything? Unless you can start making 6 figures a year, why do anything? You just sit at home and live a fairly comfortable life. And it's just it's the opposite of everything this show's about. We hate Liz Warren. And we don't, I don't think I hate anyone. Well, Matt hates her. I hate
people.
You hate who?
I hate a lot of people.
Yeah, no, you have a list. And you do. And I try not to hate people. But man, this kind of stuff, I try to picture being a grown adult, especially a grown man. And I know that's sexist because grown women, whatever. I have a hard time picturing a grown adult saying, I want this. Someone should pay for it. Someone else. And they should be made to pay for it because I want it. And then especially a man saying that. To me, I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Anyway. So, that's always...
The only issue that I have, I mean, not I obviously have many issues, but like you said earlier, the only good thing about this is that Elizabeth Warren has about a negative 15% chance of
Yeah,
winning.
roughly.
Yeah, right about there.
Yeah, give or take.
She has seen a boost, uh, according to some polls that I was reading this morning, and a lot of it seems to be based in the fact that she is now pushing this idea for universal childcare.
Right, right.
I
But
know that the same people who glommed onto the idea of the UBI and the same people that glommed onto the idea of all the, well, just all the other crappy ideas that the Democratic presidential candidates have been putting out,
yep.
they are all going to be pushing this as well. So they're going to start pushing for the UBI,
Right.
and then they're going to start pushing for universal child care, and they're going to start pushing for free college. Everybody's going to start pushing for free college, and eventually the government's just going to have to pay entire lifetimes, which they're already doing, but now it's going to be more, and it's going to cost more, and it's going
Of
to
course.
be more, and they're just going to continue shoveling out all of this. Look at this free crap that we have to give you. You can have
Yep.
all of this. You can have all of this. You can have all of this. And dim-witted Americans who just don't want to work or don't want to do anything and just believe that the government should be out there funding every single piece of their lives is going to sit there and say, yeah, no, that's what we want. This is what we need. This is what's best for America, because Jeff Bezos and the guy that made Microsoft, Bill Gates, that's his name, and Bill Gates have too much money, and we need their money, even though they vote for Democrats.
And exactly. And the most ridiculous thing is those guys want that stuff.
It's
Because they just, whatever they get taxed, they just pass that on to the consumer. And those increased taxes raise the barrier to entry. There are fewer competitors to Microsoft. There are fewer competitors to Amazon because they can afford those taxes until they have to pass them on to the consumer. They can eat all sorts of charges before it affects their bottom line. Joe Schmo trying to start his own little mini Amazon in his basement or his, Microsoft in his garage, which is exactly where, they both started in garages and basements and, small office buildings. Most of these companies did. But by adding more and more of these regulations, it just ensures that they're going to be rich. It ensures that they'll never have to compete. And I just wish people would think, but that's not what voters do. Voters don't think. The bigger of a group you create, the stupider their choices are because it goes to the lowest common denominator. And so me making a decision, or Matt making a decision, or you watching this making a decision, make a good decision. The three of us together making a decision, probably about the same. If we're all assuming we're all smart people. If you're watching the show, I'm sure you're smart. 100 people now. Not all of them watch the show. Well, that decision's not going to be as good.
right.
And it's not going to make everyone happy. And so there's going to have to be a lot of compromises. And the best case scenario is everyone is a little bit disappointed. 1 million people? Now you've got problems. 320 million people across a large span of geographic area that have very little in common. No, that's not going to work well. You're going to have people fighting over who gets punished, who gets the most stuff and who has to pay for all of it. And that's what you see the battle is between these people. And speaking of which, Donald Trump, the president. Donald Trump's president, by the way. He's still your president. Donald Trump.
Quick side note. I didn't actually fact check this. I was talking to my dad, who was very loopy at the time.
Okay.
And he was saying that Hillary Clinton came out today saying that Bernie Sanders was a sore loser.
Let me look that up. That's almost too good to check.
I know. I was like, man, I don't want to look that up and have it be wrong. But I was like, man, that's the pot calling the kettle kitchenware.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
She did?
Well, I hate to say it, but this is from Breitbart. But let me see. I just want to make sure.
No, I get it. We got to make sure because
it's Breitbart.
no, I get
And I
that,
hate
but-
that because Andrew Breitbart was like a legit, serious, in a recent off-the-record conversation with Page Six's Cindy Adams. You go to that.
Yeah, so Hillary Clinton calling Bernie Sanders, who she legitimately stole the election from, calling him a sore loser after 2 years of her talking about how Donald Trump stole the election from her, saying he had colluded with the Russians, how I keep looking at your face waiting for you to give me like any sort of response that this is accurate before I keep digging myself into a hole.
So here is the Breitbart says that in a recent off-the-record conversation, Clinton sounded off on the sprawling field of Democratic presidential candidates. Clinton had no good word for Sanders, writing that the Obama-era Secretary of State believes and anyone overtaking him in a district consider his, he'll burn the place down. That's what she said. Anyone overtaking him in a district that he considers his for like an election, he'll burn the place down. I don't see anything about sore loser, but that pretty much, I mean, that kind of sounds the same. So I don't know where sore loser. I think that was just a paraphrasing of what she said, but it's pretty accurate.
Right.
So it was an off the record conversation that is on the record.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, and also Eric Swalwell, who wants to nuke us all, was changing his baby's diaper. That'll definitely make him president. But that guy is such a freaking... Like, there's nothing wrong with a guy changing a diaper or whatever. Like, it's not that. But he just comes off as such a smarmy, like, someone trying to be an everyman. But it's just so obvious he's full of garbage. And, like, hello, fellow human. I also changed the baby's diaper. Vote for me.
He put
I'll
out
nuke
that,
him.
He put out that plea for money the other day with his dog. And he threw in a bunch of puns because I guess his dog's name is Penny. And he's like, send us pennies for Penny. We know campaign season's going to be rough.
Oh, God.
This is something
rough.
It was something. I can't remember what it said. I posted it on Facebook.com/Muddied Waters of Freedom, as well as Instagram at Muddied Waters of Freedom.
Those are both great places to get memes and news.
That's true. I posted on both of those, and I tried to throw in as many dog puns as I could into the description.
Oh, I remember that, yeah. But I can't stand him. As soon as I see him, I'm just like, you said you were going to nuke us.
Yeah.
And never dialed it back. You just were like, well, that's not what I meant. Nah, no, it was. It was. Yeah. You wouldn't say you had nukes to someone saying, I have guns. And you know, the reason we have guns is to be able to resist tyranny. And your response was, well, we have nukes. And what? Because that sounds a bit like a threat to nuke us. But anyway, don't nuke me, bro. Hashtag don't nuke me, bro. So,
a shirt.
Well, we could. And you can buy it on Amazon.
That's right.
You go to Amazon.com/ it's a whole bunch of hell. If you go to muddywatersoffreedom.com and click on store, that has the link to our Amazon, which is this ridiculously stupid link. Like, why can't it just be Amazon.com/muddied store? Anyway, so speaking of, as I was talking about before, about, you know, how politicians just are jockeying between, you know, who is the person that needs to be taxed and who is the person that needs to, you know, get free stuff. Donald Trump has figured out that he threatened to, well, really what he did was he threatened to tax American consumers even more until illegal immigration ends. The way he worded it is that he's going to implement a 5% tariff that will go up in stages to 25% until Mexico stops illegal immigration to the U.S. Now, putting aside the fact that he is going to tax American consumers unless a foreign government does something. He's asking a foreign government to do something that the U.S. government isn't able to do. And so this is sort of like, I'm trying to come up with a pop culture reference where he believes that Mexico has some kind of special, unique, exclusive ability to stop illegal immigration that the U.S. could never possibly possess the ability to do, which sort of debunks the whole need for a wall. Because if you're putting all this on Mexico, well, then that means, like, if someone comes across Matt's yard and breaks into my house, I hate using that example because it's not coming into the U.S. but just bear with me here. If that happens, and I'm unable to stop that guy, and Matt doesn't know that guy, and I say, Matt, I'm going to start taxing myself until you stop that guy. And Matt would probably say, why don't you stop that guy? And I go, no, don't change the subject.
I'm going to stop taking your water.
Yeah, I'm going to stop
stealing your cable. I'm going to stop stealing your cable if you don't.
If you don't stop this guy. And
Right.
You'll say, the hell am I supposed to stop him? You stop. You're the one worried about it.
He's not breaking into my house. In fact, he's walking right through my.
He's walking right through my place. What am I supposed to do? And I go, no. This is on you. That's literally what this is. Trumpers are celebrating, of course, because he said it.
Right.
And because go ahead.
And real quick, for anybody out there who's like, no, tariffs aren't bad. Tariffs aren't bad. They don't really affect them. You're wrong.
You are wrong.
So you have an idea of how this may affect you as an individual. Chipotle, who, much like many other companies, I'm certain this month is releasing some sort of rainbow burrito. Chipotle announced that if these tariffs go through, the cost of everything on their menu is going to be going up roughly 5 cents. And for many of you out there, you might go, it's a good burrito, which it is. But instead of paying $9 for it, you'll be paying $9.05 for it. And if you add the guacamole, you're going to be adding an extra $1.05 instead of an extra $1. And if you add the queso, you're going to be adding an extra $1.55 instead of $1.50. It's been a while.
You really know Chipotle pricing.
I love some Chipotle.
Fair enough.
So if you just add 20, 30 cents every time you go to Chipotle, for me, that would be detrimental to my bottom line, obviously.
And that's at 5%. Now make it 25%. Now you've just added a couple bucks to the cost of your food. And that's just the beginning of it.
Right.
There's so much stuff that's either made in Mexico or distributed through Mexico, including things that you don't even think of, like a fridge or an air conditioner that has components in it that are made either from Mexico, made in Mexico. Market works. They picture trade as being, this poor American farmer trying to sell his corn, and then some evil Mexican comes in and goes, I sell corn for less. And that's like how they picture this. And it isn't like you were choosing to buy the. Like I hoped I'd get to escape that.
What? He sells corn for less? What?
He sells corn. He said, I'll sell corn for less. And that's not how it is, Matt.
No.
He has a sombrero on, of course. And it's not like that either.
And a poncho. And for some reason, a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, like just the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then he takes a nap.
I just opened something that's been sitting on my desk for a really long time. And it had these 2 little pills in it. And I don't know what these pills are. and it was in an Altoid box.
Maybe don't take those.
So let's leave that up to the viewers.
That's a poll. Should Matt take the pill? No. No. No.
Our viewership just jumped.
Yeah, exactly. I have millions of people. Take the pill. Take it live. Don't do that. So, I mean, listen, when you go to the store, you're buying the best value. So you know, and in that moment you don't care, and maybe you do. There are some people who are like, I only buy American. It's like, yeah, you probably don't, but you don't realize it. But whatever. If you only buy stuff that says made in America on it, you're still buying stuff that's made in other countries. But whatever, that's your choice. You are wanting the government to tax all of us on stuff that at some point, some component of it was in Mexico. And what you don't realize is that makes it harder for American production companies that rely on those products and materials from Mexico. And they start to go, wait a second. If I were just making it in Mexico, it would cost me less, and then I just pay the one tariff there instead of paying all these other tariffs. So I mean, it's you're not coming ahead. That's not how it works. This is not how the economy works. This is not how it works. When you have, and I think we talked about this on the last episode, Matt said, when you have everyone from Keynes to Rothbard to von Mises to Friedman to Krugman to across the board, the only people that call themselves economists who think that free trade is not a good thing are a handful of recent right-wing populists and communists. These are the people. Which is why Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump are frighteningly similar on trade. It's not accidental. It is only these two groups of economic illiterates that think this is a good idea. The global depression that later turned into World War II was started by Smoot-Hawley, which was a law, a tariff law that was passed in the U.S. from people going, oh, we need to buy more American stuff, so let's pass some tariffs. And so they did, and that helped trigger the Great Depression. Other countries in response, well, we're going to do that too, because they were morons. And then they had their own depressions. And then ultimately, you started having scarcity, and that led to people invading each other. So there. That's all I have to say about that.
So in response, before we get to the invasion portion of history, Mexico responds by putting tariffs on American products today, ranging from steel to pork and bourbon, which didn't know a lot of Mexicans drank bourbon. Thought it was more
bourbon.
Bourbon.
That guy that sold the corn for less, it was to go buy some bourbon.
It was. Yep. He went to go down and buy bourbon.
That's an odd, yeah.
So for American pork producers for whom Mexico is the largest export market, we're dismayed by the move. But I am certain, and fear not, Trump fans and pork producers, American pork producers here in the United States, I am 100% certain that there will be some sort of bailout for American pork coming right down the pipeline.
Oh yeah, pork
Not
for
to
pork.
It's going to be a pork. Interesting.
Actual pork spending. Actual pork spending.
Actual pork spending. Which all of you Trumpers will rejoice and say, no, we need to do something to make sure that the American pork producers, I was about to say the American pork producers in this country, but that would have been like really redundant. That the American pork producers continue to be able to make the funds necessary to produce pork. And you'll say, this is something we need to do as a country in order to help MAGA. And the easier way would just be cancel the trade wars.
Yeah, just let them sell the damn pork.
Because now
And-
you're going to be paying more on Mexican food. You're going to be paying more on, or not Mexican food, Mexican goods. For some
Mexican
reason, I
goods?
think Mexican food.
Well, that's the first thing people think of is Mexican food. And okay, fair enough, but that's not even the beginning of it. That's such a small part of what comes from Mexico is like people are like, oh, avocados are going to cost. That's like such a. I mean, yes, avocados. They're probably the biggest supplier of avocados to the U.S. or whatever, but that's the fraction. What about oil? You want your gas prices to go up? I think it's just stupid. Even more. And now Mexico, poor Mexicans, because, you know, their government has to be seen as hitting back. Now the poor damn Mexicans are having to pay more for bourbon and pork. I mean, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid. And you have people, and they're hurting. And you know, Matt, I think a lot of these people that are hurting, they might try to supplement their income by podcasting. And, you know, the best way to podcast is Anchor.fm.
That's right. With Anchor FM, you get everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer.
I heard it's the easiest way to make a podcast and that they have creation tools, you see, that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great.
So it's just like this one. And they'll
Just like that, literally like this one, yes.
Yes. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, because we wanted to add a new one, and more.
Radio Public?
That's right.
Well, I would have already been sold, but then I found out that you can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum... Why do I have a problem saying that? With no minimum listenership.
We were actually trying to record this commercial beforehand, but we kept stumbling over no minimum listenership.
Yeah.
Also, if you are a...
That's why we're a week late. We spent a week saying no minimum listenership.
That's right. No minimum listenership.
Nope.
And if you are currently with a different podcast providing host,
Leave them.
you can switch to Anchor FM easily.
Yeah.
It's literally just one copy and paste and bam, you're done. It's switched. It's free. It's over. No more paying exorbitant prices on storage fees yearly to the companies that had to get bailed out by Chance the Rapper. And all we can really say is download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Yes, and let us know if you do, and we will, assuming you're not like a Nazi or something, we'll like follow you and give you a good rating. But no Nazis and no communists.
We may follow you. We won't give you a good
I'll
rating.
probably listen just to make sure like you're not about to do something. That's about it.
I am coming for Matt and Spike.
They were conspiring with the Mexicans to sell corn for less. We must stop them. So, yeah, be sure to go to Anchor FM, and you'll have a great time. I have no segue for this. I have no segue.
If you do start a podcast, I got one. If you do start a podcast and you do decide that you are going to do something like come after me and Spike, fear not. Fear not, because the cops probably will not be arresting you. They will be arresting Spike.
Yeah, they'll probably be arresting me specifically.
Right.
So we had a absolutely, and just to prove that this got reported, but it didn't get reported like Trump having the USS John McCain hat hologram projected onto a wall. That's what got attention. Or, Hillary calling Bernie a sore loser or whatever. The major, in my mind, the biggest news story of the last week was that the Supreme Court essentially ruled that police can arrest you for contempt of cop, which, is is a huge blow for our First Amendment rights. I'm sure that the Constitution
I like how you, I like how you say that when it is a huge blow to our First Amendment rights.
Well, it
But
is.
You're an anarchist.
Yeah. Well, hey, First Amendment's going to kick in any minute now. Like, we have a right, we have an inherent natural right to speak freely. Government wrote that on a sheet of paper. Oh, and then they decided before they wrote that part, they decided in Article 1 that they can just suspend it whenever they want to anyway. So it turns out it's not very First Amendment-y. And so, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure the Constitution will be checking in any moment now to put a stop to this. But in the meantime, while we wait on that sheet of paper to do something, I guess a silver lining here is, and just to give some perspective on this, basically the cops can arrest you for being difficult.
So,
but not,
you know the story of, do you know the court case at all?
Vaguely, yes.
Okay. So I was reading up on it yesterday, and you would have thought that I would have had the foresight to put those in the notes, but I didn't. I took one quote out of the entire article, so I'm going to try to do this from memory. So it happened in Alaska. There was an event going on in Alaska. I believe it was a protest, and the cops showed up, and a minor, a 16-year-old or something like that, was getting arrested by the cops, and this gentleman who was in his early to mid 20s, whose name was potentially Spike Cohen.
In Alaska. Well, I do love their salmon.
That's true. He came over and started telling the kid not to speak to the police. And he was saying, don't talk to the cops. Don't do it. Don't talk to them. And then one of the other cops said, hey, why don't you come talk to me? He goes, no, I'm not going to talk to you.
Right.
I'm not going to talk to you. He turned back to the kid, started telling him, don't talk to the cops. Another officer started arguing with him. He turned around and he said some sort of slur or something. Like, he may have just cursed at the guy. I don't really know. They didn't really go into it. And the officer said that he appeared to be drunk and disorderly. And so one officer took him to the ground, and he was slow to respond after getting to the ground, so they arrested him. And he basically was saying that he was being arrested for his contempt of the police force, which
he was.
He was. And
he informed someone of their right to not speak to the police. Which, by the way, let me just tell you, so that I don't get arrested while you're getting arrested. Don't talk to the police, okay? They ask you what you're doing. You say, I'm trying to enjoy my day. If they ask you additional questions, you say, I don't answer questions. And if they continue to go and say things, you say, I want to speak with my attorney. And then you shut up. Shut up. Don't say anything. Everything you say, they say, everything you say can and will be used against you. They will use it against you. They will take you into a room and they'll go, I'm just trying to work this out, make sure everyone's okay, and just let me know, because I'm on your side here. I'm just trying to make sure everyone's safe. They're lying. They're trying to get a caller, because the more people they can arrest and the bigger of the charges that they can arrest people for, the higher they get promoted. It is a merit-based system. It's a reward for bringing in callers, because callers make money for the state. So shut up. Don't say anything. Say, I don't answer questions. I want to speak with an attorney, and then shut up. Some people do this. Am I being detained? Shut up. Shut up. Because you say I'm being detained. Yes. Oh. Why? Well, because of this. Oh. That's not. It's not some magic. Am I being detained? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Or they say no. Try to leave if they say no. Just shut up. Shut up. If they want to arrest you, they're going to arrest you. If they're not going to arrest you, they'll leave because you're not giving them anything. You have any idea why I pulled you over? I don't answer questions. Well, I don't answer questions. If he's going to give you a ticket, he's going to give you a ticket. If he's trying to get you to say some stupid thing so that he can, I think I smelled something. Just shut up. He's my friend. Shut up.
So, class. Based on what Professor Spike just said,
Yes.
if you are ever in a situation where you are talking to the police, what should you do? There's only one right answer.
Yeah, there's only the one. That's a multiple choice answer of A. Just a single choice answer. Yep.
There's A, shut up, or B, all of the above.
Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up.
I'm taking B.
I mean, just shut up.
And so the Supreme Court ruled on this, and they said that yes, the police can arrest you for contempt of cop, essentially. And it was a bipartisan ruling.
Yep.
It was a bipartisan ruling,
Which tells you something.
We're getting comments from one of our regular viewers, Sean Whitehead.
Yeah.
Who not obviously for you watching, but he is saying that Spike is 100% right in every color that I'm going to guess Apple allows you to use on the color spectrum for emojis. And then he's saying that cops have me get out of my car because I don't talk to him, and they have never arrested me because he never talks.
Exactly. Shut up. They're going to make your life difficult. Just shut up. You get out and they go, I want to speak with an attorney. And here's what they realized from that. They realize not only are they not going to get anything from you, but they also realize that you get what they're trying to do.
Right.
So they can bring that stupid poor dog there and say that they teach to go, oh, and then they go, oh, probable cause. They were going to do all that anyway. Just shut up.
Yeah.
And because here's what's going to happen. They might make your life tough, but honestly, the more tough they make your life and the more you just shut up, the more likely you are to end up with like a settlement or something because they get pissed off. Two things will happen. One of two things will happen. Either the cops will realize this isn't it, chief, and they leave you alone and go about their day and go bother someone else, which is usually what they do because predators tend to go after the weakest prey, just as a matter of course. And this is no exception.
Just ask Joe Biden.
Or Officer McFeely from earlier. Randall P. McTouchy. Randall P. McTouchy. Or they're gonna get all pissed off. Oh, you think you're not right? And then they give you a harder time. But then you end up with money, possibly. I can't promise that.
Paid for by next dollar.
Paid for by Chris Reynolds, attorney at law. Does he do criminal law?
No.
Oh, okay. Well then, never mind.
He's personal injury.
All
He's
right,
still
well,
who I would have them call though.
The cops hurt you, then call Christopher John. No, I don't speak. I don't answer questions. I would like to speak with an attorney. And then shut up. If you were speeding, they're going to give you a ticket. They go, oh, well, I'm just trying to figure out. No, I want to speak with an attorney. And then they go, oh, and then they give you your ticket. They were going to do that anyway. It might take a little bit longer, but you just spared yourself saying something stupid.
Yeah,
or saying anything which they take to mean something else and uses probable cause against you. Everything you say can and will be used against you. So shut up.
When you get pulled over,
yep,
the first thing that they say to you, it's been a while since I've been pulled over, since I stopped drinking. It might be license and registration first,
right.
And then they say, do you know why I pulled you over? The only reason they ask you this question, they know why they pulled you over. They want you to admit to something different. They want you to say, like, okay, let's say you're going 10 miles over the speed limit and they pulled you over because you rolled a stop sign.
Yep.
There you go. Oh, because I was doing 10 miles over. Oh,
Well, I was in a hurry and I know I was going faster than I thought. And now they go, oh, well, I knew that too. And they give you the ticket for that. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut
Always say,
Shut up. Or I don't answer questions. Those are like, shut up. This is a person whose job it is to find things you did wrong so they can rob you or kidnap you.
right.
That's their job. That is literally their job. When they swear that I swore an oath to uphold the law. They didn't swear to, I swear to protect all these people I don't know. They swore to uphold the law. That was Jordan Peterson swearing into.
Yeah, but Jordan Peterson as a cop.
Jordan Peterson, like, I swear to clean my room. So just
I swear to clean my room.
clean my room
and make my bed every day.
So just
So
shut
it
up.
was a split decision.
It was a split. But it was a bipartisan one. Now,
Yes.
the increasingly bright light, if there is one in the Supreme Court, Justice Neil Gorsuch, which
He is the light at the end of that.
if there's anything even resembling a light, he's at least an absence of darkness. If anything, he wrote history shows that government. He obviously voted against this and wrote the dissent. He said history shows that government sometimes seek to regulate our lives finely, acutely, thoroughly, and exhaustively. In our own time and place, criminal laws have grown so exuberantly and come to cover so much previously innocent conduct that almost anyone can be arrested for something. If the state could use these laws not for their intended purposes, but to silence those who voice unpopular ideas, little would be left of our First Amendment liberties, and little would separate us from the tyrannies of the past or the malignant fiefdoms of our own age. The freedom to speak without risking arrest is one of the principal characteristics by which we distinguish a free nation. This is true. And I need you to understand what Neil Gorsuch just told you. Let me get closer to the... We aren't a free nation. That's what a Supreme Court justice just told you. He said it that way. He said it a lot more flowery than I just did. But he just said, the freedom to speak without resisting arrest is one of the principal characteristics by which we distinguish a free nation. And he prefaced that with explaining how this law means that you can be arrested by speaking. We're not free. If you enjoy a life of being unmolested by law enforcement for the most part, as do most of us, it's not because you're free. It's because you're compliant. And I say that as myself too. I'm not trying to start trouble with the police because I don't want to go to jail. But we're not free. We're compliant. We comply. Notice I didn't just tell you, if you get arrested, well, they're imposing their stuff on you, and if you really want to be free, you got to fight back. I'm not going to advise you to do that, because you'll die. Or you'll go to jail and possibly die there.
Right.
So I'm not going to advise that, because it's going to, whatever good you can do is going to be far offset by the bad they can do for you. What I'm going to advise you is to shut up, because you're not free. That's the most you can retain your freedom while still complying with them, is to just shut up. Yeah. They allow you to shut up, so shut up. Like, I'm literally telling you only to do what they allow you to do, which is shut up.
Right.
That's really the only way you can resist them legally, and that's what I'm advising you to do as an anarchist. We're not free, we're compliant. So that's the story about that. Now, here's the fun one. So you can be arrested for basically, like, telling people how to not get arrested by the police or saying mean things to them. But apparently, in Dallas, you may not get arrested for robbing people.
I believe that's specifically businesses.
Which are run by people.
Right. No, I agree.
I mean, they're owned by people. You're robbing a person.
You are. I don't want people in Dallas to all of a sudden go, great, I'm going to go kick in my neighbor's door.
No.
I don't want people to do this either, but like...
No. Yeah, no, this isn't like The Purge, but it's so basically a Dallas, the Dallas DA put forward a plan where he would stop prosecuting anyone who is caught stealing items valued less than $750. It would only apply to necessary items. So like food, I guess, clothing.
Food, clothing.
You got the government deciding what you can necessarily steal.
Right.
Steal. It rolls back policies that lead to incarceration and disparities in the justice system, but has dubious public safety value. Does it? Is it dubious that you can let people steal? So there were a few different policies, and I know some of them were for like victimless crimes, like minor possession and things like that. So there were some good stuff in there. But then he went a little bit further, where it was like, well, victimless crimes, and also crimes with victims where it was necessary. No, it's not necessary to rob someone. So what's it? So food, diapers, and other essential items.
Right. Yeah. That's actually a quote from Dallas County District Attorney John Cruzat. If a poor person steals food or diapers, yes, you should.
You can't rob people. Now, here's the thing. At least he's being honest, because that's what the government does every day, is they rob you for stuff and give it to people when they think it's essential. He's just, I guess, eliminating the middleman. Why bother waiting for the government to rob the business to then give stuff to you? You can just rob them yourself. So, I mean, this is kind of efficient, if you think about it. But don't.
So, obviously, this is getting a lot of backlash.
Is it?
Odd.
How about that?
Business owners are now concerned. Could you imagine being a Walmart in Dallas?
I can imagine closing if this happened. $750 worth of stuff? It's like supermarket sweep. You're going to have people running in and smashing, grabbing all the diapers. Like, I mean, give me a freaking break.
Not only that, but so it just says stealing items valued less than $750. Does that mean all your items have to be valued less than $750? Or does that just mean that your cart can only be $750?
Either one of those is a bad idea.
Right. Like, you could load up on
under $750 stuff.
Yeah, thousands
like
upon thousands
Kobe
of dollars.
Beef, but only $400 worth of Kobe beef.
Right.
It's necessary food for my kids, officer. Let's putting aside, because this mentions insurance rates. Can you imagine what the insurance rates are going to be for like places that sell necessary? No one's going to sell necessary items.
No, either that or they're going to price necessary items so high that it would make it. They would price out being able to afford them anyway.
Or it's going to be like walking into an armored car. It's like, oh, I want that bread over there. All right, well, you wait here and I'll go get it for you. Like, in poorer neighborhoods, you're going to have places that sell liquor and other unnecessary things. And then you're going to have stores who are selling necessary things, but it's going to be like lockdown when you go in there. Because they know that if you actually get out with the stuff, there's nothing that's going to happen to you.
You're going to have private security. There's a place that I go to on occasion, just a couple blocks up from me, for necessary food items because they sell them cheaper than at, say, Publix or the other one that's down there that I don't ever go to. At the front of this place, like it's one of those. It's not an Aldi's, but it's a place kind of like an Aldi's, and you have to give them money in order to get a bag, kind of a place.
Right.
And I often don't do that, and I just carry everything out in my hands like some sort of degenerate. And because I always forget about that part. And Like they've got security guards manning the entrances of these places.
Right.
Like this will be every place that sells necessary items.
It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be stupid. And I know what some of you may be thinking. Why is an anarchist mad that people aren't going to be arrested for theft? Or why is an anarchist mad that the police aren't going to be arresting people for something? Because the state has imposed itself as a monopoly, and they've given themselves the exclusive power to enforce societal norms against theft. So in a free society, if you rob someone, you're going to have problems either with the owner of that business or someone they've hired to, stop that, or if there's a small voluntary community group there that says, no theft, and we'll stop and, we'll punish you, or we'll, whatever for doing that. That's how it would work in a free society. In a statist society, where the state has imposed itself as a violent monopoly and said there are certain things that only the state can do. One of those things is to create and enforce laws. If they've said we're the only ones that can enforce laws against theft, and we're not going to, they've now made it essentially impossible for you to do anything effectively to stop theft unless you can stop it in that very moment. There's no additional punishment you can do if they get caught later or something like that. So this is a terrible, terrible idea. Again, picture people just running into stores and just grabbing everything and running out and nothing happening to them. And who's going to say, okay, well, they got necessary stuff, but this pack of cigarettes that they got, or this whatever that they got, that wasn't necessary, so we're going to track them down and get them for the just that one not necessary thing. You're essentially saying if you didn't rob a lot, if you didn't take a TV or something, we're going to let it slide. That's really how this is going to play out.
Exactly. And so you're going to get it's been so long since I bought a pair of shoes that wasn't Converse All-Stars that I get online because they're cheaper. But I don't know what shoes cost. That's where that story is going. But I'm imagining the shoes cost less than $750 for most of the world.
Yes. And it's clothing.
Need
clothing for my kids need the new, Air Jordans.
I was going to go Jordans. I didn't know if they still made them. So I was like, does LeBron have a shoe? I don't even know.
Probably. I don't know. I've been buying Pumas for 10 years, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I've been doing Converse for 10
years. Right.
Yeah, can I go get the new Reebok pumps? I don't know.
Those new Frank Thomases. You get those Frank Thomases? It's just so stupid.
So shop owners are saying that, they're going to have to do like martial law.
Right.
Which, I'm not going to lie, I'd watch that movie.
Oh, man. This could be a new market, though. Like, where they show these, like, footage of the shop owners desperately trying to stop the thief from, getting out off their property because then they can't do anything about it. It's just going to be so damn dumb. Again, when I was first reading about this, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's kind of backing off of the drug stuff and a couple of, a few other, petty things that don't have a victim. And focusing on, not enforcing it for the poor. Cool. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the police saying, hey, you know what? This is a law, but you're not hurting anyone. And you're poor, so we can't make any money off of you. All we're going to end up doing is putting you in a cage, and that costs us money. So we're going to leave you alone. I'm cool with that. I'm not cool with this. This is not cool. Unless they then said, well, we're just not going to enforce it, but you can. You, the people, can, do mercenary law against these folks. That'd be fine with. They're definitely not going to do that. So this is just an absolutely terrible idea.
We could pitch it as a new reality show that we get cameras in order to keep rates low for all shop owners.
Oh, you know what? Because they can make money from the. Oh.
Yeah, we can put. If only our president knew anybody in reality TV.
It's a damn shame he doesn't.
You're weird. We could pitch it to him. You know, Mr. President, we got this great idea. We put cameras in Dallas shop owners, and when people try to steal from them, we see if they get caught.
And to offset their cost of enforcement and insurance, we share the money with them.
Right, and we sell advertising of the goods that are being stolen, and the companies then would pay.
Oh yeah,
because they're gonna get airtime.
Of course, they're gonna try to steal the Mountain Dew. It's refreshing and delicious.
You know, Pampers is the lightest diaper out there. Easy to carry
with the slimmest packaging.
When you're trying to sprint past the open carry shop owner in this Dallas convenience store
and make it over the moat. It's like, hopefully this won't happen and they'll just do like the lesser stuff. Cause you know, if you're not going to enforce laws that shouldn't be laws, that's one thing, but this is wrong. This is wrong, but
if this goes through though, this might be the first show on Muddied Waters TV.
To what?
Be the first show on Muddied Waters TV.
Oh yeah, no, this would be a great. I like this idea. Yeah,
stop petty theft.
The real Dallas shop owners.
Right.
I like it. The real shop owners of Dallas. I like it. I like it. We need to end this because we've talked a lot about like bad stuff this show, and I apologize for that, as does Matt.
Sure.
Through me. But we're going to end this show on a positive note. We're going to end this show with nipples. Namely, women's nipples.
Yeah. Well,
nipples.
It's actually a lack of women's nipples is the reason that we are talking about this.
Nipples.
Can you say it again slower for me?
Nipples.
Hard to say nipples slower.
I know. Nipples. This is Nipples ASMR with Spike Cohen. Hey. I got something today. It's a nipple. So Spencer Tunick. Good old Spencer Tunick.
Spencer Tunick. He is a, I guess, performance artist, I guess would be the best way to put that.
Okay.
He has organized many a nude protests in his day. And
fair enough.
He organized another one outside of the Astor Place subway station in Manhattan, New York.
And this was to protest what, laws against women being able to show their nipples?
This was to protest Facebook and Instagram's policies on removing, which is why we couldn't show the video.
Yeah, let's cut to the video.
Let's cut to that video. But we're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and
Facebook and Periscope and Anchor
everywhere.
FM.
And Anchor FM.
Well, I mean, technically we could do it on Anchor because they can't see it.
Right, because it's audio. You can.
We would just have to put a caption: nipple sounds.
Right. I wish I could add that to the closed captioning on this episode.
We certainly can, at least on the website.
You can on the website. Nipple sounds.
Various nipple sounds.
Right. I don't even know what a nipple sound would be.
Well, we'll find out together.
Yeah.
So he's protesting that I could show my nipples right now.
Right. We a while ago, Spike and I were trying to figure out ways to get more people to watch. And one of the ideas that got tossed around was Nipple Tuesday.
Nipple Tuesday,
where we would
show our nipples.
Like
up close.
Right. Well, you would get a very, very close shot of our nipples. Right. Because who doesn't want to see Spike and Matt's nipples?
Specifically our nipples.
Right. And,
this was vetoed by my wife.
It was quickly.
Like as soon as we said it. in real time.
It was almost as though she was. I don't even think she was involved in the conversation.
No, she wasn't.
She
She just came in as we
she-
were talking, and she heard nipples and said no.
right. She like.
And I said no,
emanated
but here
out of the air.
she just appeared. Like, did I hear nipples? No. Like, yeah, she sort of generated out of the ether and was like, nipples? No nipples. And I said, wait, whoa, hear us out. Nipples every week. Nipple Tuesday. And for our patrons. And she said no. And I mean, the thing is, she has definitely input on me showing my nipples, but that's somehow extended to you too. You also can't show your nipples.
Right. Yeah.
No,
Somehow
somehow she had authority over your nipples as well, which is
right.
kind
I
of,
wasn't. She's like the Mark Zuckerberg of Muddied Waters of Freedom nipples,
but just nipples.
but just nipples.
Like we can do anything else. We just can't show our nipples.
Certain she would have problems with other things as well.
I guess genitals in general,
Right.
right? No genitals. But pretty much everything else she's been okay with. Or has tolerated. I don't know if she's been okay with it, but she's tolerated it. But not the nipples. She said no to the nipples. Hashtag no to nipples.
Sean Whitehead is going to walk into a store with no headphones on at this moment.
And just hear
we
about the
talk-
nipples.
As
So-
we talk about nipples.
Guys, the thing is, it's not so much the nipple as it is the areola.
Right.
You see,
The
that's
nipple, the nipple is just, it's just that little.
it's not really that big unless you get someone with some real honkers.
Those like cone-shaped nipples.
Oh man, some, especially ladies, some of these ladies, their nipples are like, whew.
They are, and
I mean, they're like some.
Most of those may benefit from the universal child care we talked about at the beginning.
Just grow. Hashtag grow the nipples.
Hashtag grow the nipple.
Grow the nipples. 2019. Right.
So, Spencer Tunick, in his protest of Facebook and Instagram's prohibition on the female nipple.
The female nipple.
The female nipple. Like they had that whole movement a while ago where if you were posting nude on Facebook or Instagram, they recommended photoshopping out your nipples with a male nipple. Like, see, they're the same. And I was like, well,
that is genius.
Right? I know that actually was a good idea. And they're like, no, those are male nipples. You can see it's a different layer. They're covered by male nipples, which are fine.
That is genius.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had thought of it. But
you could wear a pasty that
has a nipple
that has a photo
of a male nipple
of a male's nipples on it.
Right.
That is absolutely genius.
So going
that
back
is
to the protest.
Right. Because that's what this is about.
Right. Back to this protest as we continue to just talk about nipples.
Nipples.
What these models got nude. They nuded up.
Yep.
Or nuded down.
Get all nudie.
They got all nudie, and they're hanging out outside of this subway stop at the Astor Place subway stop, nude, and they were covering the sensitive areas of their body, their groinals and their female nipples. The men weren't doing it, but the females were covering up their female nipples, and the men were. And everybody was covering their groins with pictures of famous male nipples. Let me rephrase that. Nipples of famous males. Because I don't know any male who has a famous nipple.
Jim Morrison.
Yes. But
that's an actually famous nipple. Or two nipples. Both nipples are famous. Other than that, I'm not.
That thing. From the Doors album.
Yeah,
also Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, potentially.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe.
You kind of had that Jim Morrison thing going.
Yeah, because it was yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
Maybe.
so, maybe. But
Maybe.
yeah, so I know that like the drummer for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad Smith, his was one of the nipples that was being used.
Fair enough.
Probably should have put that in the notes, but I think it was Brad Pitt, not 100% sure. I think his nipples were used, but famous men's nipples were being used in this protest, and Facebook and Instagram have done absolutely nothing to change their policy on the female nipple. You still can't do it if you are out there wanting to show pictures of your naked breasts and you're a female. We highly recommend. We will. I will send.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Matt. Single, not married, Matt, and not Spike.
Right. I will. Send
Who is married?
I'm not married.
No, I said and not Spike, who is married.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I'm not married. But yeah, I will. You can gladly. I will send you pictures of my very pink nipples, and you can Photoshop them bad boys right on over yours. And if they argue with you about it, you can go, no.
Those are Matt Wright's nipples.
Those are Matt Wright's nipples from Muddied Waters Media and Muddied Waters of Freedom fame.
I think that's a good compromise. Listen, I just want to break this down. Go ahead.
But that's why it's now the hashtag We the Nipple.
We the Nipple, and I love that. Hashtag We the Nipple.
Or Wet Hen Nipple. And
or wet he nipple.
Wet he nipple.
Which is actually accurate.
Yeah, because I'll wet mine down for you and everything. No, it's wet he nipple.
It's not my nipple. It's a hashtag wet he nipple.
Right. It's a hashtag wet he nipple.
So if you have this belief, and we've talked about this before, Facebook, Instagram, all of these are private groups. They can set whatever rules they want in their terms of service. None of us have a right to show our nipples on it or anything else. They can do whatever they want. If their policy is we don't want to show sex or sexual organs, okay, so then you don't show sex, you don't show a penis or a vagina, you don't show those. A nipple?
A nipple.
On neither a male nor a female is a nipple a sexual organ. On a female, it serves the purpose of allowing them to nurse a child or, pump milk or whatever. And on a male, it's kind of cool decoration that serves no actual purpose.
The only reason we have them is because when we got them, they didn't know if we were going to be a boy or a girl.
Yeah. Like it's a throwback to our fetal development when they wasn't quite sure what we were going to be. And then there's some other stuff I could say, but I'm not going to. Because there's the thing with the penis. Anyway. I'm not going to get into penises. We've talked enough about nipples. No penises. This is a penis-free show. Nipples. It's not sexual. And people go, oh, well, it's part of the sexiness of it. So is their face. Well, they use it sometimes in sex. People use their mouths in sex. Do we not show female mouths now? We don't show sumptuous lips?
Yeah,
we don't,
if many a male, if you were to look at my track record in dating, you would think that I am not. But many a male are attracted to the booty. And I have seen plenty of pictures online of women who are wearing things that are basically not wearing anything covering
booty.
The booty. The booty is out. Like, you see the booty. You see all of the booty.
You see all of the booty.
And God bless you for that, women. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining. And God, I don't want Facebook or Instagram to change those standards.
Right.
But many men find that sexually pleasing. I would probably say all men find that sexually pleasing in one way or another.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We're talking about something that I mean, well, on me, it's like it's like smaller than a dime. It's tiny. But we're talking about something that some like concentric circle on your chest. I love the looks you're giving me today.
It's just like I'm the one that started this becoming just really talking about nipples a lot, so I have no room to complain.
Really, it's because of Sean Whitehead, because we wanted
To make sure he was uncomfortable at the store or wherever he was.
well,
Listen,
he's saying it's great.
good. Then I'm glad he's enjoying it. We're making it uncomfortable for Sean's, the people in his vicinity,
Fellow shoppers.
his fellow shoppers, and the people working there. It's not sexual. Anything you could say, it's like Matt said, anything you could say about a nipple, or especially about a nipple, period, you could equally say about the booty, or lips, or eyes, or whatever. Like, I don't have to see my wife nude to have sexual thoughts about her, right? So there's so much going on there, especially with her. But it just in general, like, you don't have to see nipples and go, "Oh, I'm thinking sex now." Like, you don't have to see that, especially if their whole booty, they got their whole ass out with this little tiny string of cloth, single ply, just going through there.
The floss.
Just the floss going through there, like, "Oh, it's okay, everyone. I have a tiny bit of cloth right on the actual anus," and so that's okay. And the cleavage, you can see like all of the breast except for just the nipple.
Yeah, you
and the areola.
All the like the deep V all the way down,
all the way,
and like the cut up,
and they do it like this, so it's all so it's all puffed out for you, and they got their ass all sticking out.
You can get all of the under boob you want. You can get the over boob, the inner, and the even the side. Like, I love a little side boob. That's a good look. And
nothing wrong with side boob.
Man, this shirt's probably wrecked now from doing that. But sorry, I'm gonna have to spend another $4 on a t-shirt.
Right.
But you have every single area of the boob is totally fine to show on Facebook and Instagram, minus, you see some that are like, that, but like
whatever, minus the part that babies eat from.
Right.
Why?
So,
and this goes before social media. This has been some weird societal standard for like a long period of time that if I had been smart, I would have researched as to why this is a thing. But it is. And it seems to be a uniquely Western thing, because you don't really see it so much in other cultures, as far as I can tell. Maybe in the Far East, but like most other cultures are
probably, and Western cultures.
Yeah,
and the Middle East.
Well, no. See, with the Middle East, male bodies are supposed to be covered too. So, like, yes, women have to wear burqas and all this stuff, but men also are supposed to be pretty modest and not show stuff. And they're starting to relax those standards for men because they're being more like us. But it's like, I don't get it. Like, what is the nipple?
Where I grew up, in Virginia, we had a theme park where you could get family fun packs.
The Liz Warren pack, yeah.
Right, the family 4-pack. Where it was called, I'm certain it's still there, so it's called King's Dominion.
Okay.
It used to be Paramount's King's Dominion after they bought it, and it had great rides that were based on Wayne's World. And then Paramount was like, this is a losing venture because it's a theme park, so we're just going to get rid of it. And
right.
So now it's like this aging theme park, like in National Lampoon's Vacation, like Wally World now, where everything's just kind of broken.
Oh.
Well, it used to be this really great place to go, and you'd go and you'd have a great time. And my buddies and I, we were, cocky, arrogant teens who all of us were swimmers. So, we had like the swimmers' bodies as much as
right.
16-year-old could get a swimmer's body, and we would walk around and not have shirts on. And one year they changed the policy,
Hmm.
and it wasn't that women could now show their nipples. It was that no nipples were allowed.
Nipple free zone.
It was a nipple-free zone unless you were in the water park. But if you were
It's
just
just-
out wandering around trying to get, and that was where I found it really unfair because I had a good tan. Like you wouldn't know that to look at me now, but back then, like anybody that's watching, like you can see the farmer tan that I got from the fact that I never go outside. But back then I had a good constant tan. So
Right.
we would go there and we wouldn't want our tans to be uneven because we're arrogant little kids.
Right.
And it's not like now where I have zero problem showing anybody that. And they were like, no, you have to put your shirt on. It's 120 degrees. Nope. Can't show nipples.
Unless you're at the water park.
Unless you're at the water park.
And unless you're a woman, because then you can't show it at the water park either.
Right. Yeah. I could show mine at the water park, but
But
girl that
women
has to
can't.
do that, she could.
In the era of Me Too and Nevertheless She Persisted and the whole feminine, this is going to go away soon. Because the libertarians are like, this isn't, this violates our rights. The feminists are going to be like, we want to do this because men can, and it's not right. And I agree with them. And then the conservatives are going to be like, woo, titties! So there's not really like, you've got a small subset of religious authoritarian, puritanical people or whatever that are going to be like, no, this is bad. All right, well then don't do it. Deal. Don't show me your nipples.
Right.
Okay? Don't show me your nipples. This lady over here wants to show everyone her nipples. I don't really care. I'm fine with that. Like, it's none of my business.
Yeah, you're going to have the people who are like, my kids shouldn't be looking at those nipples. Raise them better? I don't.
Raise your children to not experience human bodies. Like, this is what people... I don't want them to have to see... And this can go to a lot of things. I don't want them to have to see gay people. I don't know what to tell. Move to Somalia. Finally, I get to do that. Move to Somalia. No, but it's like, you don't want your kids to experience things happening in life. All right, they're gonna, just like you did, and tough. Like, it's life. You didn't want to have a kid experience reality. Maybe don't have a kid. My kids aren't experiencing any of this.
My kids aren't.
My kids aren't experiencing this because they can't see it from where they are. Which ain't the nipples.
No, right now my kids are protected by 2 different layers of clothing.
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, but the main takeaway from this is nipples.
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 If Sean Whitehead is still in a store, just nipples.
Nipples. Not penis. Not penis.
Not penis.
Never. Hashtag never penis.
Never.
Hashtag always nipple.
Nipple. Hashtag wet he nipple.
I'm going to change in the notes where the capitalization is on that hashtag so that it's wet he nipple.
Wet he nipple.
I might add an dash between he and nipple. The he nipple.
Yoshi Rivera Davis says, "Show them to me." Let's. We are not allowed to show them on the show, but if you send $5 to,
You send $5 to our PayPal.
if you send $5 to our PayPal, which
Matt will show you his nipples.
I will send you an email with my nipple. So We made a promise to Spike's wife to not show her nipples.
Yeah, I can't, and I can't. I mean, for a myriad of reasons, all related to my marriage, I can't send you my nipple.
Right. And while I have,
I mean, I legally can,
right,
but I'm not going to. Matt
I have nothing to do with the marriage.
can, and yet, for some reason, he can't show his nipple on this show
I am not allowed
because
to
of my wife.
Right.
Which is it's the power of marriage, I guess. The sanctity of the institution.
Yeah,
And but he can nipple mail you.
I will, I will e-nipple you.
He will send you his hashtag wet he nipple.
Right.
$5. Rodney Carrington song. Wet he nipple? Is that a Rodney Carrington song?
E-nipple? Which is a Rodney Carrington song.
I'm gonna have to Google Rodney Carrington nipple song. Oh, he had a song called. Wait, a few nipple songs.
What?
No, that's not him. Funny country songs.
Oh, show them to me.
Oh, is that a? Oh, show them to me. Yeah. So, can't.
Yeah, not allowed to show our nipples here.
But Matt.
But yes, what is our PayPal? Our PayPal is it muddywatersofreedom@gmail.com?
I believe so. Yeah, it's muddywatersofreedom@gmail.com.
PayPal $5 since Sean Whitehead's in Publix. We'll keep this going. Since Sean Whitehead is in Publix, if you PayPal,
is he still in Publix?
Yeah.
Nipple.
If you PayPal $5 to muddywatersofreedom@gmail.com, I will email you a picture of my perfectly concentric pink nipple.
I think that's a deal. Guys, people of Publix, attention. The gentleman whose phone this audio is emanating from is an absolute gem of a human being. Oh, he's at Target. First Target. I don't know what that means.
I think the first Target heard it.
Then first Target, then Publix. Okay, so Target. People of whatever store Sean Whitehead is in this very moment in time.
If you hear this,
I need you to know some things about nipples. I'm gonna get myself situated here so we can.
Your camera's like refocusing.
The camera knows that this is serious. He's at Publix. Publix. Let me tell you some stuff about.
No, if you're by the deli section, Boar's Head turkey sandwiches are on sale for $7.99 today.
Is this all Publix's? Publix's?
It's all Publix's in Florida.
Oh, all right. Well, while you're getting that Boar's Head, getting that sweet ass deal for Boar's Head turkey sandwiches, let me tell you some facts about the nipple. Our new favorite subject on this show. Buy one, get one. Like a nipple. It's much like a nipple. Buy one, get one, just like a nipple. And I'm going to tell you something about Sean Whitehead. Sean has two friends right now who are on the internet who have spent the better part of a half hour talking about nipples. There's no reason that we're still online other than we're still talking about nipples. The show's over.
The show is really over.
The show is essentially over. We've talked about everything of any real value.
He just said he was in public areas with no headphones in the
And so we're just going to keep talking about nipples until this man makes it home. Because we care. And let me explain some things about nipples. The female nipple specifically, because that's the thing you're not supposed to talk about. Male nipples are like whatever, like we were talking earlier.
Florida, I think you can even walk into a pub. I think I could go into a public shirtless and they wouldn't say anything to me.
Because you have wet he nipples.
Right, I got wet he nipples.
He's got hashtag wet he nipples. Right. And that's fine. That's fine. The white patriarchy says it's fine for Matt and then Sean, even in this moment, if he wished, we shall see, to remove his shirt and show everyone here who's hearing me his nipples.
I can see.
Probably, and I mean, I don't know if this is true, but for many men, their nipples are hairy. Okay, so it's not just a nipple, it's a hairy nipple.
For anybody who pays the $5 to the PayPal at Muddied Waters of Freedom at
gmail.com. This extends to everyone.
It does. My nipples are not hairy. My nipples are very much not hairy, much like most of my body.
No, it's very aesthetically pleasing. This is an aesthetically pleasing wet he nipple that you can get from Matt Wright, who also lives in the Tampa Bay area, and Muddied Waters of Freedom at gmail.com. You cannot get my hairy Jew nipples, and the reason for that is because I'm married, and also I have to think that I'd charge more than $5. Because it would be like a whole like thing, right? Like they're hairy, and I could there's like a bear market there, right? Like, and not a bear market as in like when the stock market's going down, but a market for bears.
Is this like a Pride Month?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man, we're doing a Pride Month thing. Hey guys, hey fellow homosexuals, it's us, Matt and Spike, at the Muddy Waters of Freedom. We just like you to know, being gay. Yeah! Great job! I am so proud
Of each and
of
every
you for being gay. It's not easy. It definitely is not easy.
No.
Especially being a gay man. Because I've seen myself naked. And I have unfortunately seen other men naked. And to really just get into that that's a schlep.
That is an undertaking that I'm not willing to undertake.
I certainly am not.
No.
I mean, if you look at a female, especially your nipples, right? Get that body. Yeah? Not too much hair. They smell good. And they're all moist. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I love that you said moist.
Oh, they're moist.
You know that he's out in public, and that's good. Like 4 women just walked away.
Moist nipples. Okay, and that's something.
Hashtag moist Matt nipples.
Hashtag moist Matt nipples. To do that with a guy who's probably also moist, I'm not into it. So I'm proud of you that you can do that. Because someone's got to.
I'm so proud of each and every one of you.
Every single homosexual who's listening to this, I need you to know, not just homosexuals, trans, I am so proud of you. You did it. You did it. You're doing it. You can do it. Guys, all month.
Oh, yeah. All of
June. Month. All of June.
All of June. You do you, but apparently, according to however this calendar is set up, this is the only month you're allowed to do it.
June. Beautiful month. We give the blacks February. Shortest month. Freezing cold out. You guys, we're so proud of you. You get the beginning of the summer. That's the best part. It's not too hot. It's perfect. It's perfect. May actually would have been perfect. Let's be honest here. Okay? Probably straight pride is May, right? Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, I would think that like October or something, you get the changing of the colors and like everything's you're out of the abysmal heat.
That's for pagans. And then the Jews get like most of December. Because we also, I don't know. We were in the Middle East. It's nice in December in the Middle East, so we weren't really thinking like long term. So, I mean,
you weren't thinking manifest destiny.
We weren't thinking we weren't thinking of being expelled and then all the genocides and stuff. We weren't thinking long term. But let me go back to the gays because there are 2 things that I need you to take away from this show. Nipples, female nipples are the bee's knees. Equally the bee's knees, being gay in June. Really just being gay, but I'm going to take all of June to let you know that I'm proud of you. You did it. You're gay. and I'm proud of you. Let's talk to the gay women for a second. To the lesbians.
To the lesbians.
Let's talk to the lesbians. Since we're talking about female nipples. I get it. Lesbians, I'm not just proud of you. I'm with you.
I understand.
I understand you. Because you're like, oh. Roll the windows down. So we put it on Bluetooth and blast it. Because the lesbians need to hear this. They'll hear it later.
Oh, I'm certain somebody will retweet.
Some lesbian's going to hear this later, and I'm fine with that. You, I get. Because you're like, hey, even though I've got a vagina, I want more of them.
Right.
At least one more of them. And I am all about female nipples. That's the other thing you're saying. And I'm like, yes, girl, yes. Okay, I get it. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm a woman, I'm like, well, guess I'm a lesbian. Because I'm not getting divorced. That's a conversation we'd have to have. Yeah. And I know. We'll cross that bridge if we get to it.
Right. No, I mean, that would definitely be a conversation.
That would definitely be a conversation. There'd be a lot of questions, I'm sure. Honey, I swear, I just fell asleep.
And the way you sleep, understandable.
The way I sleep, you never know.
True.
You never know. But so I get it with the lesbians. And with the gay guys, I'm just like, hey, you know what? Someone had to take one for the team, and here you are. Just taking it for the team. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So, Matt.
So, Spike.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'd say it first. So, tomorrow, if you want to hear more about nipples, I got some bad news for you because we're not going to talk about nipples tomorrow. Tomorrow on My Fellow Americans, my show, I will be interviewing Chloe Valderi, who is a world-renowned activist, speaker, lecturer, recently a podcaster. She started podcasting, possibly on Anchor FM.
Possibly on
Anchor.fm. And she also, she's also the creator of a program called The Theory of Enchantment, which is a program she's developed to help people better relate to each other and engage in conflict resolution in a way that de-escalates and finds common ground. And she explores pop culture and all sorts of really cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to having her on and talking to her. She's going to spend time talking about the theory of enchantment and then also explaining to our viewers why I'm better than Dave Rubin. So that'll be good. So, Matt, who do you have on Thursday? Just go with it.
Why you're better than Dave Rubin?
Yeah, but like detailing why I am. And I'm going to ask her to explain how many Dave Rubins it would take to achieve a Spike Cohen. Dave Rubin also gay, and I'm proud of him.
Very proud of him. On Thursday, I've got a guest. I think. We were discussing this morning topics, and I never actually got a confirmation on whether or not she would be appearing. But there's going to be a show. There's going to be a show Thursday.
We're gonna have a show.
There's going to be a show. It might just be me doing a Q&A. I don't know. But it might also be me with a very wonderful and lovely human being taking up most of the time, which would be great.
That would be really good. And then on Friday, we've got the Shabbat episode of Mr. America, the Bearded Truth. It's really important that I assign some kind of Jewish presence to his show, even though he's extremely Gentile. But that is his Jewish episode, if you will. I've decided that just now. And then have a great weekend. And next week on Monday, you will have the non-Jewish, completely Gentile episode of Mr. America, the Bearded Truth with Jason Lyon. And then join us again next week, Tuesday, right here on the internet, where Matt and I will be here again talking about probably not nipples, but who knows. If there is a nipple-related story, we will be all over that. I can assure you of that.
Flooded $5 donations to Muddy Waters of Freedom at gmail.com.
If we get enough $5 donations, this becomes the damn nipple show.
Yeah, this will become the Muddied Waters of Nipples.
The muddied nipples of freedom.
Yeah.
I don't like how that sounds.
I don't either.
But I'll say it. For money, I'll say it.
Right, yeah, that's not even a question. So, yeah, tune into all of that.
And if in the meantime, if someone were looking to find us on the internet, Matt, are there places where they could do that?
You know, oddly enough, ones that we've mentioned on this show even today.
Dear.
Are Facebook.com/Muddied Waters of Freedom. Instagram, you can find us at Muddied Waters of Freedom. You can find us on the Twitter, where you can tweet us or tweet us. Or
tweet us.
Something.
Nipple tweet.
Yeah, you can nipple tweet us. You can, if you're sharing this episode, please do a hashtag moist Matt nipple, and we'll that way we'll be able to find it easily. But you can tweet us at @muddied_waters. You can find us on Anchor at anchor.fm/muddied waters. And you can find this and every episode of Muddied Waters Media at muddiedwatersoffreedom.com.
Yes. You can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com/muddiedwatersmedia. It's, you know what? You do this every time and you nail it every time. You missed one. I forgive you.
Yeah, I kind of got into, I just wanted to throw in the hashtag moist Matt nipples.
I know you derailed yourself and I'm fine with it. So good. So this episode happened and I'm happy with this. We achieved everything.
We achieved everything in this episode, and more importantly, I feel as though some people at Target and some people at Publix were either educated or just felt mildly uncomfortable as they were looking for items less than $750.
You know, that's what you get. You're shopping at late at night. You know, listen, we enriched you. They were enriched in some way, whether they were educated or maybe they had a little bit of a horror flick going, like, ooh, what Publix, and then and at Target, Target with the kids, and they go, what's a wet he nipple? That's a good thing.
Mommy,
that's a good thing.
Like the word moist.
Yeah, mommy, why are you like reeling? All they said was moist, and then the kids say moist because it's like a funny sounding word. Moist, 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 moist. And then the mother like, that's kind of sad. So we hope that didn't happen. But other than that,
I don't know. I enjoy teaching kids the word moist.
If I told a kid about a moist nipple, that starts them on the journey of this painful existence called life. And I'm happy about that. Kid, if I have to pay for your childcare, you're going to hear about...
Yeah, you're going to hear whatever.
You're going to hear about wet he nipples and moisture. Sean said they started to pay attention and were like trying to see my phone, but as one would.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Why would you not? If I were in there and I'm hearing this, I'm like, yeah, what exactly is that?
What is going on?
Why is this happening?
No kids. That's a shame. Probably better.
Maybe next time. Let us know your shopping patterns, Sean, because we can go live anytime. This is not like a cable show. Like we can work this around your schedule.
And for everybody else who's watching,
Still,
this
show ended an hour ago.
If you want to go out in public playing us with no headphones on, let us know. We'll be more than happy to do that again.
Yeah, especially for Sean, because he actually shows us to them while we talk about nipples, and I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it. This is how we spread the show, is we get people to go out into the world and show us to people as we talk about nipples. And homosexuality for this month. That's a big one. The muddied rainbow of freedom. Guys, thanks for tuning in to the gay waters of muddied gay waters of free gayness. And not just gayness, but lesbianism, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus IAA, two-spirit, intersex, asexual, questioning, plus symbols. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see.
Mic check, yo. We still here? Still going strong, yeah? Are you down with Zuby? Yeah. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. 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 I've been on the rhyme since I made a first appearance. I've been on the grind, never waited for the clearance. Life is all the time, so I'm gonna live it fearless. Yeah, and people gonna hear this. Made a little name with a vision and coherence. Never been a lame, now I'm closer to a genius. Knowledge in my brain, chalk it up to the experience. Still I'm not rich, but at least I ain't broke. Never sell dreams, cause I'd rather sell hope. People so lost in the mirrors and the smoke, think I'd be a realer bloke if I said I sold dope. Nope. But my fans will tell you that I'm awesome. Soft, making easy living off the map, where I can go hard like a freaking cheetah on the track. I'm grinding from a zero to a stack, and I'm talking about De Niro getting jacked. If Wakanda needs a new king, I'ma go hard to be the leader of the pack. A needle in a stack, and I'm feeling to attack. Not a baller, no T'Challa, but a hero, and I'm black. I'm an eagle to a rat, rebel demon on a track. I'm a scholar and a brawler, you don't feel it if you're whack. You're always talking evil in your rap, and I'm trying to put my meanings on the map. I gave you 12 rules for life and kept my room clean. I'm the Jordan Peterson of rap. Yeah. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip-hop, I do not flip-flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. And I believe what I prophesize, so I don't apologize. Unless I do wrong, I don't bow to the mob, I don't live to antagonize. But they say I'm too outspoken. They wonder if I'm joking. Look, a little bit is jest, but I say what I feel, man, I'm real and I'm open. Trust in God, but I live in the physical. Selfish thoughts, but I give in the lyrical. Thought cops hot, want my speech to be criminal. Lies get fought when I speak the political. I am not left wing, I am not right wing. I just know all these things I know. You cannot label me, you can't put shame on me. When I say go means go. Fresh, I step into the premises, kick dope rhymes and they love how I'm expressing it. Hop online and reply to all the messages. Gotta spend time and I'm grateful that you cherish it. Don't talk crap, no, I'd rather be irrelevant. Can't play dumb, people know that I'm intelligent. See me up late night, big beard, let 'em in. 12 years deep, now I'm flowing like a veteran. Dudes show love, now I'm moving up in eminence. Girls show love cause they're feeling all the pleasantness. Got huge dreams, I can never be a pessimist. Too much love, I can never be a feminist. Girl, stop looking all incredulous. I am not a bad man, I am and not your nemesis. Always had a mega drive, take it back to Genesis. Worked so hard, time to reap a couple benefits. Yeah, I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip hop, I do not flip flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. I will not go pop, I will not go soft. When I say no means no. This is true hip hop, I do not flip flop. When I say flow mean flow. This is perseverance. This is perseverance. This is perseverance.